Hello, I'm Swithun. I'm the Managing Director of MasonBreese, management consulting company, and I am going to answer some questions put to me by Witty about the subject of diversity and inclusion. Starting with the question, could I explain why it's important to have women in our teams? So I think there are three reasons why it's important to have women in our teams. The first is that without doing so, if we don't make an effort to have women in our teams, then we are going to exclude half the population. That seems like a ridiculous way of limiting the talent pool that's available to us. We are a company who want to be successful commercially. We would like to have access to the very best talent that is available. So clearly that is going to include the whole population for us to choose from if we are sensible, not half of it or less. So just having access to all possible talent is an important piece. Secondly, we have found that women have performed exceptionally well in our company. In a sector we work in, consulting for finance and technology. So in a sector where there are not that many women, certainly women are underrepresented, it's quite surprising to see that they're underrepresented when, in our experience, our female staff have performed very well in our company. And therefore we would always seek to have women in our teams. And lastly, but not least, perhaps it's just a question of fairness. We like to be a good company to work for, a decent employer. It seems reasonable that we would open the doors to welcome everybody when we're recruiting. So it makes total sense for us to have women in our teams, and it's important for us to do so. What challenges do we face when we're trying to find female talent? We thought about this question quite hard, and actually I think that the question could be rephrased. The question could be, why do women not want to come and work for our company? So when we ask ourselves that question, there's an easy, lazy answer to say, well, we don't have a lot of talent in the company from female talent because they don't apply. But that's the wrong answer. We need to say, why don't they apply? And when we asked ourselves that question and asked the women who do work for our company that question, the answers were abundant. And we were able to change the way we recruit, change the way we talk about ourselves, such that it was very apparent in our recruitment thereafter that women were applying, and women with serious talent. So the right question has to be, what can we do to make ourselves attractive to a diverse group of candidates when we are recruiting? When we asked ourselves that question and got some expert help, things changed. How did the service of the Witty Diversifier help us in this? So there were a few things. We needed to have some help with language. Language can be inclusive or exclusive, and it ties right in with unconscious bias. I note that there is quite a strong reaction against the concept of unconscious bias politically at the moment. I think it's unfortunate. This shouldn't be something that ends up in the current culture wars, but it is very deliberately being dragged there by certain sectors. We do all suffer from unconscious bias, and it is ridiculous to suggest otherwise. And the experiments that have been undertaken have demonstrated this categorically. So recognising our own unconscious bias and the language which we use as a result of that is important. So we've done some work with this, and the Witty Diversifier was really helpful to us on that. And as a result, we've been able to reach talents that we were not otherwise reaching. We've just had a very successful case where we have recruited a young lady of exceptional ability and qualification who previously I don't think we would ever have had an application from. That is to the serious benefit of our company. We've hired her, she started, and she's fantastic. What was the impact of using the Witty Diversifier on our recruitment figures? And I think it's fair to say that historically we used to get 0 to 10% of female applicants to our adverts. We had a job we posted in 2020, a technology role, and we had 27 men apply and not a single woman. So we've always tracked our diversity statistics, but not really been very good at dealing with those kinds of figures, other than to ask ourselves, what are we doing wrong? Since we use the WittyWorks Diversifier, we think we're now getting somewhere close to 30% applicants from female candidates. Our target would be 50-50. We would look to have balanced shortlists when we're recruiting, such that we can just get the best people irrespective of who they are. What were the specifics about the WittyWorks Diversifier which we appreciated? There were several points. The first perhaps is that they helped us explicitly deal with their online tool. It's very easy to use, and it's got a great algorithm, really solid algorithm that looks through the words that you're using and identifies when they are unlikely to be helpful and when they are exclusive rather than inclusive. So that's just straightforward, pragmatic help. They've got a great support on the telephone. We took that support and used it, which was terrific. We had specific suggestions on requirements being limited to 4 maximum. Don't make it too complex. Don't have lots of diverse requirements. And that did help. And then making sure we're very clear about the recruitment process and the steps that candidates have to go through also helped. Why would we recommend using the WittyWorks Diversifier? So firstly, we would absolutely recommend it. We thought it was terrific. It was really helpful. But there were some specifics. The investment was worth it. We got a straight return on investment in our first case, no question. We had the complementarity of this with our own attempts at a diverse HR strategy, so it fits right in with what we're trying to do in terms of diversity and inclusion. There is also a talent pool which is available via the WittyWorks network of good female talent, and we will very much hope to be able to access that in the future for our recruitment. So 100% we recommend using the WittyWorks Diversifier. I think it's terrific.